Zen Rhino says, heard a rumor that Jesse's planning on going and he bought a ticket. I mean, that's fine. If I had to venture a guess, he's just going to be thrown out and he's not going to be given a refund. So, I mean, if he wants to lose more money trying to fucking self-own himself on a regular basis, then he can do that. But I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. He's going to show up and immediately security's going to go, you have to leave. And they're going to tear his ticket up and nobody's going to give him his money back. So I mean, cool. That's a cool own, I guess, that you're going to drive all those miles and go to another town and spend $60 and get asked to leave. I guess that's cool. I guess that's as cool as losing $376 and lying about it and telling everyone you got your money back. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to continue to face plant, you know, at this point, I can't imagine him really knowing anything else at this point. Like, what does he know other than attempting to take things down and then slipping and falling on his face? You know what I mean? I don't get that. Oh, High Velocity said he sent somebody else. That's fine. Then that's kind of a pussy move too. But he also bought it. So he bought somebody else a ticket so they could do what? Are they going to disrupt the show? They'll be thrown out. Are they going to like what are they going to do? That's what I don't get. Like, you're going to send somebody else and they're going to do what exactly? You know what I mean? Because we're talking about people that usually hide behind computers and discords and gay ops and doxing and all that kind of other shit. I don't think that anybody in the pod awful community is about shit in real life. Like, I really don't. I can't imagine anybody that watches that failed drama student fucking, you know what I mean, faceplant over and over again and make up stories all the time. I don't see anybody in that fandom being about that life. You know what I mean? So I guess, I mean, come on out. Come on out. I guess it'll be, you know, it's your money. But it is what it is. Those of you that missed the Worski show last night, Homeboy showed up, and again, another massive fail by Jessie. He showed up in the Worski chat room last night begging for attention, and then was like, oh, let me guess, Mersh came on because they were playing my content yesterday, right? Yeah, I bet that's it. Yeah, Mersh is only on Worski's show because he was talking about me last night. Yeah. And literally everybody in the chat room was like, no, Baked Alaska's been talking shit about Andy and Mersh all night. Like, it was really sad. He's like, no, it's definitely has to do with me. And everybody was like, no, he only came on because Baked Alaska has been spiraling for like 4 hours straight talking about he wants to fight Andy Worski and Mersh. And it was the saddest. It was really sad to watch last night because he was like, yeah, and everybody was like, nobody cares, dude. And then he tried to play it off like, yeah, sorry, this is too much Worski and Mersh for me, dude. I'm bored. I'm out. And it was like, no, you just showed up and pissed your pants and embarrassed yourself in front of everybody, and now you're leaving. It really was just, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, and it sucks. I don't think D-Live has like a chat replay, but it was very funny to see like him and his like three of his people go, yeah, Mersh, it's talking about me. It's me, right? It's about me. It's about me. And everybody's like, dude, we're talking about Baked Alaska. Like, go away. It was so sad, dude. So whatever. It is what it is. You send whoever you want. I really don't care. You send any pod awful fan you want to the Dick event. It's not going to make a lick of difference, and nobody's going to care. And you're just going to do the same thing to this poor person that's going on your behalf that you do to yourself on a regular basis, which is embarrass yourself, and nothing ever comes of it. That's what happens every time. Every time. I got the Secret Service picked me up, and I don't know if you guys know this. I'm on the Secret Service. Yeah, I said I was going to kill the president in the Secret Service. And then what was the other one? Google had the NYPD arrest him, but he had no paperwork. He had no nothing. He had no... By the way, I don't care how much of a fascist country you think this is. The police cannot arrest you and hold you and not provide some kind of documentation. And you guys remember, this was even when I was cool with Jessie, And I don't know if you guys remember or not, but even I wouldn't co-sign his little bit because he was begging me to help him sell this angle. Like, yeah, dude, look at this. This is a slip that says that they gave me my hoodie back. Like that. And if you guys remember when he was pushing that angle, I came on and everybody was like, did Jessie really get arrested? And I was like, he showed me a thing that says he got a hoodie back from property control, but I don't know. It looks like maybe he had a thing, but I don't know. Like, I wouldn't commit to it because I was like, this is a really cheesy, corny fucking lie. You know what I mean? And I figured it out. Jessie is fucking, you know who Jessie from Pod Awful is? He's Vito Jr. Remember when Vito in The Sopranos, everybody found out he was gay and he had to go hide for a little while? And then he snuck back and he had dinner with his family that one time. And they were telling Vito Jr. that he worked for the CIA or some shit. Like, that's he's the kid in fourth grade that he can't tell everybody, like, my dad left my mom. So it has to be like no, he left to join the space army. You know what a fourth grader lies, but they're not good at lying because they don't have any real perception of the world, you know? So you go like, what happened to your dad? Oh, my dad can't make it to the PTA meeting because he's undercover for the CIA on the moon. You're like, shut up, dude. Like, his lies are so fucking lame. And then last night, of course, he was going, oh, I got my money back. And we're like, no, you didn't. Like, the entire chat room was like, no, you didn't, Mersh. Oh, yeah? Show a screenshot. And everybody was like, he has. Like, Mersh has already literally did a whole segment on his show. So I just thought it was very funny that he like, as soon as I popped up on Warski's show, he was like, me. And everybody's like, dude, go away. And even Warski was making fun of you on the show. Like, it's gay. Like, stop. Just stop. I know. Listen, I know that my presence bothers you, Jessie. I know that you did your little upright citizens brigade stint, and you took your little classes in fucking Photoshop and graphic design, and you make your little videos, and you put a lot of effort into your show. And if I was putting as much effort into my job and not doing as good as the drunk 37-year-old who just comes in and just wings it, I would be bothered. I get it. I would be bothered too. Like, I actually understand where he's coming from. I would be bothered. I'd be like, this motherfucker just shows up and gets 5, 10, 15 times the amount of people to listen to him, and he doesn't even try. I get it. I had the same problem with kids like you in school, because they'd study and they'd go, I did extra homework last night. And I'd come in fucking hungover and I'd go, just give me the test. And bing, 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 bing. And I'd get like an 85 and they'd get an 80 and they'd fucking flip out. And they should. They should. Because why would you want to do all that extra homework and come in and not be as good as the guy who doesn't even give a shit? I get it. But that's just, them's the breaks, kiddo. That's just the way it works out sometimes. You know, I don't get mad at black guys because they can just, all of them have abs and muscles and they never work out. I don't get mad at that. I'm like, hey, that's cool, man. You know, I have a better credit score. It's fine. Things are different for different people. So I get where it comes from. But like, at some point, dude, you're gonna have to cut your losses. Because there's very few people who can look at this thing from the outside looking in. And I don't mean the people that like Nightwave. I don't mean the people that like his show. Or I don't mean the people that like both shows. I mean any objective observer from outside that looks at this thinks you're spiraling. You know what I mean? Like, it's, do you understand that Pod Awful now is in, like, you're in the same league as, like, the Mill Hip guy. Oh. Dude, you know what I mean? You're like Kenny Powers. Like, you should be in the major leagues. Like, everything about the stats says you should be there, but you're playing for the fucking the Myrtle Beach Mermen or whatever the fuck that team was. You're in AAA ball with the fucking Mill Hip guy and the plumber and the Uber Eats drivers and shit like that. You're in that tier. Like, you're good at drawing your little your fucking little charts and stuff. Why don't you make a chart about where you are honestly in the pecking order. Do a little inward looking. Not N-word, I said inward looking. A little self-reflection. Just saying. It was a very embarrassing showing last night to show up and go, it's me, right? And everybody was like, no, it's Baked Alaska. Calm down. Like, calm the fuck down. Have I ever showed up anywhere where this dude is? Like, literally. Count the amount of times this dude has shown up to places I am or shown up on streams that I'm at. And count the amount of times I've showed up in the chat or showed up or been posting about him. Like, never. I genuinely don't care. I do look at it with a certain level of amusement, and I do point it out because he's going to, when people go, why even acknowledge it? And you're like, I'm sorry, dude, but if somebody talks about me for 8 hours a day for 10 months straight, occasionally you have to address it. And last night was very funny during the Worski show. Me, right? Me? And half of the people were like, most of us don't even know who the fuck you are, dude. This is about Baked Alaska and Andy and Mersh. So I just thought it was really funny. Anonymous says, I really don't get what his issue is with you. It seems like it came out of nowhere. No, I mean, I've explained it. It's legit jealousy. He'll never admit it. You know what I mean? He'll never admit that it's just eating at him and that it's a jealousy issue. But that's honestly what it is. And it's any... If you were to hire any psychiatrist or psychologist to examine like my content for the past year and his content for the past year, I'm not saying that the psychiatrist wouldn't have a whole list of issues that I need to work on. But if a psychologist examined both sides, they'd go to him and go, dude, you got to let this go. Like, this is weird. He's more obsessed with me than he was with that fucking Skylar girl. It's kind of gay. So it's just, Fred Johnson says, Jessie gets jollies off of getting a response. No, and I know I feed into it a little bit, but he is yet to not fail. So it's like, how do I not laugh and do a victory lap once in a while? He has yet to do anything that has had any real lasting effect or done, you know what I mean? Like, to be that impotent. You know what I mean? Like, this is the vengeance equivalent, the Moby Dick, like trying to get the great white whale, but his dick doesn't work. It's like it's that equivalent, the internet edgy boy equivalent of your dick not working is what that is. Somebody brought up Red Bar, and that's the thing. I honestly, dude, people really got to stop trying to get me to like take like you're talking about two different situations. When you talk about Mike David, you talk about Jessie. Like, Jessie's a fucking broken, failed theater kid who still wears like glasses that I had those sunglasses when I was in like 7th grade, by the way. And by the way, I love the excuse that, there is prescription glasses. Oh, okay. Do you realize that you're allowed to choose the style of your prescription glasses, right? Like, that's not an excuse. It's not like you're in the Army in the 70s and you get the standard issue, from Full Metal Jacket, the cowboy glasses from Full Metal Jacket, and you go like, oh yeah, like, they're standard issue. They're my prescription glasses. Like, you can get prescription glasses that make you not look like a dickhead. Like, it's not an excuse that, they're my prescription glasses. But you look like a dickhead. Like, you can go get other prescription glasses. You know what I mean? So he's like a broken dude who doesn't even know how to, like, he'll make fun of my sport coats, but he dresses like a middle school student who's going to shoot the place up in a week. To compare that to like Mike David, who, I'll be honest, he's annoying. He's not, he can be a little cunty at times. He's certainly been kind of shitty at times when he kind of maybe shouldn't have been, but whatever. He does do funny shit, at least. You know what I mean? He does do funny shit. And the reason why I don't get sucked into like this Mike David, like hating Mike David thing, is because he approaches it with the appropriate level of detachment. It's, you know what I mean? Like, it's more of just a bemused attachment of like, we're going to goof on this guy. But it doesn't, I know that I'm not burrowing a hole into Mike David's brain the way I've done to Jessie. You know what I mean? Like, he'll make fun of me for a few minutes or whatever and move on. But, like, the Jessie thing is fucking weird, dude. It's weird. You know what I mean? So, it's just, stop trying to get me to, like, lash out at Mike David. Like, I'll goof on him once in a while because he's a fucking, you know, he's a smarmy Jew, and he's dying, which is hilarious. But other than that, I'm not going to, like, you know, I certainly, when people come to me with that and they go, fucking Mike David, that fucking guy. And I'm like, it's his gimmick. Like, his gimmick is just being a smug Jew. It's his gimmick. But I know he's not, like, the difference being, I know Mike David's not sitting around all day going, how do I get Mersh? I have to get him. You know what I mean? And Jessie is like, it's all consuming to him. And I've flip-flopped back and forth between being, like, creeped out by it to being annoyed at it. It's just like, it's a lot of amusement to it. There's a lot of it's kind of amusing to know that I've made this man spiral to the point where he's giving me free money. He's buying tickets to our shows. Like, it's just the weirdest way of trying to get me. And then the Andy Worski thing, that was just fucking embarrassing.
If it's not too expensive.